Welcome guys, HaKDMoDz here with lesson 5 of the C++ playlist. Today we'll be doing switch statements, while statements in a rows calculator, in a rows sales calculator. Okay, I'll show you a demonstration of what we're trying to achieve. This could be for anything, e.g. shirts, pants, anything you would like to create this program for. It'll store memory from your first choice selection and output it in a receipt style output in the end when you finish. Push F to finish. Okay, so first off it says here, enter the color of flower you wish to purchase. I just chose flowers as a random thing, but you can choose R for red flowers, B for black flowers, white for white flowers, and then it asks the quantity, how many flowers you would like, and then it multiplies that by the cost of each unit, and then if items are greater than 5 it deducts a percentage of 10%. So run through it again, there it goes, and then it outputs the items that you've selected and neatly in a columnar standard format with fixed positioning and set precision of 2 decimal places with a column width of 8. Okay, so first off I open up your code blocks and we'll be doing the standard like we always do, set the file location and save name. Remember the extension needs to be .cpp. Okay, so I'm just quickly make a lesson folder. Okay, now same as always, include IO stream. On this one we'll be using including string, and we'll be including a new one in this one called string stream. Include IO man IP, so we can get set precision. String stream, and then using namespace standard with int main and open close braces. Okay, now outside the int main we'll be declaring some variables. First off we'll be declaring a float, calc cost. Remember float gives it double decimal places, and inside the brackets after calc cost we'll be declaring that it can hold a character, an integer and a string. So later we can call that variable and display the character that we chose, the integer that it equals, and the string name that we give it. Okay, so constant float, we'll be allocating red cost. You could do this for anything. This is the red cost of the red roses at $25 a unit. Okay, B for black roses, $27.50. White for white roses, W for white roses, oh not yet, white for white roses, yellow for $32.50 equals $32.50, sorry. Now whatever variable name here, make sure you spell it how you want it to be and set it with either first character is capitals. Okay, so now next constant is float, and it's going to be discount percent of 0.1%. This is so we can allocate a discount if items greater than 5. So minimum discount quantity was another variable, and it'll be equal to 5. So if the discount will be applied only if items are greater than 5 have been purchased. So now inside the int main, we're finished with that declaration set. So int main, now inside that we'll be doing int integer data type with quantity as the variable equals 0, comma, total query equals 0, semicolon to finish the statement. Float, current cost will be the variable. Okay, I'll just quickly neatly fix up these things that I like my code to be neat. I'll put an extra 0 there. Okay, so now after float current cost, we'll set that to 0 initialization and finish it with semicolon. Next we'll be doing character, data type, and we'll be using flower color. Finish the semicolon. All lines must be ended with semicolon as previously instructed in lessons. Okay, string, we'll be creating data types, and the variable name will be name, sorry. String,
we'll be doing another one. Oh, this is string stream, sorry. We'll add a string stream for receipt so that it stores data from the last choice. So C out, and we'll be doing a welcome to my program. You can write whatever you like here, whatever your program's about. But if you're copying this, you'll be writing it about flowers, but only as an example. But it can work in any situation. Okay, so C out, enter a new line with enter the color. This is the question that the user is going to be prompted with. Okay, so I'll just quickly fix that spelling error up. Okay, so you wish to purchase. Finish it with a new line and break it with another new line. I forgot the end now. I'll have to go back and get that later. Okay, that'll give an error anyway when we compile the code, which is good because you'll know that was an error there, and you'll see what happens when the error is passed. Okay, so now C out, R equals red roses. So these are set to the red rose cost, black rose cost, white rose cost, and purple rose cost. So if the user is permitted past that question, enter the color of the flower that you wish to purchase. They enter R, they get a red rose. B equals black rose, and so forth. White equals white rose, and P equals purple rose. Okay. Proper naming convention is second word begins with a capital letter, first letter begins with a small case. Okay, now we'll be inputting the SIN. So once they've been declared a question and selected R, P, S or W, then it will be outputted to flower color with the SIN statement. Next we'll be doing a while. So this while is the option that stores. So once they get the question and they've selected the quantity, it will do a loop. But for this while we'll be doing flower color not equal to F, and because we're setting F as the finished code for the output for the program, so that when we select F, the program will calculate all the item costs and tally a total. Okay, so now we'll be adding so we've got while flower color, that's the condition, not equal to F. Then inside the curly braces for that while function, we're doing a C out statement. How many roses would you like to purchase? So they've selected the color now. Now they're being prompted to enter the quantity of that color to purchase, to add to the list. Okay, so next will be SIN quantity. So when they've selected red, and then they've been asked this question, then they'll be prompted how many. You add 10 or whatever number quantity you want to purchase, and it will be stored in the quantity variable, which is set as a integer, and it's initialized at 0. So next we do a total query. Our quantity equals quantity. Okay, so next will be current cost minus calc cost, flower color, quantity, and name. Sorry, that's the string stream. Not string stream. Sorry, that's the thing we said earlier. Where is it? That's the float calc cost. Sorry, I couldn't remember what the variable name I set it as. Okay, so next we're doing total cost plus equals current cost. So it'll be tallying up what is been stored in the variables. Okay, and we'll be doing a C out name. Name was set as a variable, and then equals in quotation subtotal dollars, and then current cost end line. All statements all internal statements end with end line and are separated by the left arrows. Okay, next we're doing a receipt, and it's going to display the name with 2 tabs after it, and the quantity with 4 tabs after it, and fixed set precision with set W. Okay, now we've covered that in the last lesson briefly with using the IOMAN IP header. Okay, and so if we want to add, now this is a new part, set W, that comes under the class of the IOMAN IP header. which allows, and after the brackets, which allows the size of the column that you would like to do. So, and then slash end to end the line. Okay, so C out, you'll see what it does in the end. So C out, enter the next rose color being purchased. Okay, now this is because this is asking the user whether any more purchased roses will be wanting to be purchased. Okay, so they've selected first. They've ran the program. Now it's first asked what color rose you would like to pick. Then it's asked how many of them rose, and then the next question, what's the next color of rose you'd like to add to your order, and then the question after that, when we get to it, will be the next quantity again, and then that's within the while loop that's stored in the variable for color once we input it. Okay, so F for finished. Remember, that's why we've used the while loop, not equal to F. Okay, finish the quotation to finish the string, end line with the semicolon. Okay, next, so sin flower color, so they select the next lot of flower colors that they've chosen, and it'll get stored into flower color. And I know you thought you already stored the first lot into flower color, but that's because we're using a string stream which will store the variables one after the other and recall them as a tally in the end. Okay, so next, outside that while loop, we'll be doing a C out with a few design features, which is just asterisks, so that we can create a column. Okay, so next we'll be doing a C out statement with color, two tabs, and quantity with 2 tabs, and then the cost with a new line. So therefore, when we've set the set precision with set W from the IMN IP header with a position of 8, we'll get 8 characters available for each column. So next we'll be doing a C out statement to finish that under all the output. Okay, next the C out statement, the total cost for these purchases comes to, and tallied up. You can write whatever you like, but you could write grand total or whatever you like. Okay, and then $/T with the T switch gives it a tab, and then we'll be doing the same things, fixed positioning with set precision of 2 after the decimal place, and set W with a position of 8, and we'll be outputting total cost. Okay, in line. Now if total quantity, I spelled that wrong, if total quantity, now that's the condition, if total quantity does something, then we do this. That's what if does. Same as while, same as do while, same as for. Everything begins with a condition inside the brackets. So we got if total quantity total cost less than equals total cost times discount %. So that means if they didn't get the discount, if they didn't order more than 5 purchases, which discount percent held the 0.1%. So C out with a 10% discount, the total is now / with set fixed precision of 2 and a set width of 8. Again, it comes from the IMN IP header. Okay, and we'll be now putting the total cost in the end line. Okay, now C out, finish that niceness up. You don't have to do the asterisks, but I just do it to break the sections up in the output program. And then we return 0, so the flag set is set to 0. So if that all runs fine, the program will execute no problem. You can set exception flags, where if you set that to 1, then it'll do something else or whatever. But we'll cover that in further lessons. Okay, so I added an extra. You need to delete the left curly brace from underneath the first section. Now we'll be adding a float cost and float calc, and a variable will calc cost. Sorry, I couldn't read it. Now we'll chart the character, and it'll contain size. Integer will be quantity, and string will be name. Okay, and we add the curly braces to decide that we'll be doing something with this. Okay, so float and rows cost equals 0.0 as initialization. Sting, however I spelled it. String slash n equals a variable equals n with nothing stored in it. Next we've got switch. Okay, and we'll be doing a switch case statement. Now, if case R, you need to finish it with semicolon. Now, case R, so if they select R, what's R going to do? That's what this lot of switch case statements is going to output for us. So, flour cost. What did I call the variable? I think it's flour cost. Flour color. No, that's not it. Where did I store it? Okay, rose cost, that's what I call it. Rose cost equals red rose. So that's telling the statement that red rose equals $25. So that's our baseline for multiplication. Red cost was the variable, sorry. So not red rose. Okay, so now asterisk name. This is where we set the value to the name if R was selected using the string stream. Okay, so name red equals red roses inside a string quotation marks. Then we'll break that case. We covered this basically in the last lesson, but I'll cover it again in this lesson. So case B, semicolon, colon, and then rose cost equals black cost. And then the name, and we'll be setting to black roses with a break. So if they've selected an F, it's going to end the program. If they've selected end the program and tally up the grand total. But if they select R, it's going to select red rose, B is going to select black rose, W is white rose, and P is purple rose. So hope you guys understand that. It's pretty simple. And we need to set a default also. So if they don't select that, then it's going to do an exception try-catch statement. So we'll set a default with the colon. Now we're just going to break on that exception. We're not going to put a cout statement with this one as we did in the last lesson. Now in between that and the last the finishing curly brace, we'll do a return and rose cost times quantity. So therefore we've selected R. It knows that now that rose cost equals red cost. So red cost times quantity equals an integer. Okay, now we've got a few errors. That's fine. We can show you where they've gone wrong. See, line 23 comes up with a red debug line, so you can find out what's wrong in that line. I didn't have a semicolon. Okay, so next line is 23, missing terminating character. Okay, so I didn't have a semicolon on that line, you see, with the red square on the left. Okay, we rerun it to find the new errors. Okay, expected before sin. Okay, so sin now on line 31. There's something wrong with that. What do we got? Semicolon. There's no left arrows towards right arrows declaring sin is going to input into quantity. Capital letter. No, they're all the variables are the same. Note that could be a possibility if you have spelt a variable incorrectly compared to when you've declared it. Okay, so now I've added them two right arrows that are going to output sin into quantity. Now the next error is, I'll just quickly change all these because I've changed that quantity. So if you change one, you need to change them all. You can just click on the word and it'll show you all the applications for that word, for that variable. Like that, say, see grey. Grey means that there's nothing above it, or there's no other matching search term. Okay, so capital Q. Okay, so now we're knocking the errors off. So we've got line 33, quantity was not declared. That's because it was spelt incorrectly by myself. in the variable declaration. Okay, so next off, we got error. Disk percent was not declared. Okay, that's because it was discount percent, not disk percent. Okay, so therefore the program's compiled and ran successfully. Okay, so now it's output. Enter the color flower you wish to purchase. I've selected R or W. Now, how many roses would you like to purchase? 750 white roses, and I want to purchase 300 red roses, and I want to purchase. Actually, I can't remember what colours I chose there. Sorry, but you can read there on the output what I chose. So it was 50 white roses, 30 red roses, 56 black roses, and 100 purple roses, and the total cost less the discount because they ordered greater than 5 total. It comes to, and then the output total. Okay, that's pretty much got it for this lesson. If you have any questions, leave a comment. I can probably drop this into the description link, the CPP, depending on if YouTube allows program uploads. But if not, I could probably put a link or something. Okay, so that's it for this lesson. We've covered costs, we covered while statements, we've covered switch statements with cases. We've added a new data header type of string stream, and we've learned about that with the set W position. Subscribe button now to follow my channel. For future lessons, next lesson we'll be covering cohesion and coupling and arrays. Hit the subscribe button now to follow my channel. Thank you for watching. I'm HaKDMoDz.